My name's Alex Law. I'm the founder and tutor of School of Upholstery in Faversham, and this is the exhibition of my students' work.
Oh, okay. How many students have you got?
I've got 18 students in total who are studying a formal qualification. We have 6 students in each year group, but my broader students, I've got dozens that come and do different little leisure classes. There are many upholstery enthusiasts in the area, so they will come in and actually sort of work on projects that sometimes are live, so they might come and get 1 or 2 days help and then come back a few months later and get 1 or 2 days help with another project. So yeah, there's sort of...
And how long have you been at upholstery?
I started upholstering in Faversham in 1989. I was an apprentice at a company called Sitting Pretty. It used to be in the old co-op building in West Street. I mean, I've upholstered for lots of different companies since, and various different places, and sort of got away from it for a little while, but it's technically I've been upholstering for about 35 years now.
So, and how long have you been doing the School of Upholstery?
I launched the classes just coming out of COVID, so 2021. Oh. So this is my first third year cohort completing this year. So there are people who started with me when we started doing the qualification, and then we've taken it through, and this is their third year show.
If someone wanted to do it, watching this video, how would they get in touch with you?
We've got a really nice, simple, easy to navigate website, schoolofupholstery.com. It's a bit like School of Rock, maybe not as cool, but a lot more comfortable.
Oh, that's brilliant. And so you're here today, which is the 20th of July, so you're here tomorrow the 21st.
Yep, we're here for 2 days, just showcasing the students' work, and then we've got some open days sort of later in August and September, where people can come to the actual studio where we teach and sort of see the space and talk about, you know, what they're interested in making.
With the furniture in there, you've got some nice pieces in it, and they're like old, some of them. I don't think all of them are old, but most of them are old designs, and yet they're sort of like still going, you know, they're still good now. So, but you're basically recycling, aren't you?
Yeah, very much so. I think upholstery is one of those professions really that's always been quite environmentally sound. We obviously perpetuate the usefulness of chairs that, you know, for centuries. I mean, to be fair, you know, a good quality chair can do 200-300 years, you know, if it's been well made, the joints are good and so forth. The actual upholstery that we use, particularly if it's a natural fibre, using a traditional technique, is always serviceable. To some extent, you know, I talk about, you know, the triggers broom analogy can be, you know, can be applied sometimes. Specifically with some of these projects that the students have gone through, they've actually had to replace a lot of the fillings to comply with the criteria of the qualification, because they've got to learn to make it from new. But certainly with most domestic furniture, you know, if you're picking up a chair, typically the fillings in there will be serviceable, and you can sort of make good of what's there, and then you know, put a new vibrant fabric on there, or something like that, and keep something going. You know?
So, depending on the like the design of the chair, how do you kind of think, oh yeah, you know, a certain pattern or colour would look nice on that? Do you know what I mean? Is that an artistic thing, or is that what you go with what's done before?
Well, it depends how it's going. So if it's something you're working on yourself and you're making it or re-upholstering it and then putting it out there saying this is what I've chosen to happen to the piece, then obviously it's open brief, it's just down to one's personal taste. But a lot of my students and myself will be used to working to commission. So actually it's about often working with someone. It could be someone who's either not a creative themselves, so you help unlock what it is that they want with the piece, and then sort of work with the client to actually sort of arrive at a piece of, you know, final sort of product that actually maybe they couldn't envisage themselves. But then if you're working with someone from the creative industries, sometimes it's about you know, sort of winding your own ego in and helping them fulfil what it is that they wanted, you know, because actually you're the technical expert in the upholstery process and what have you, but they might be the visionary that's interested in, you know, they know the textile because they're working on, perhaps if, you know, if it's an interior designer, they'll have a scheme going for an entire building or room, and of course you know, you need to be able to actually help them hit that mark.
Okay. And so do your students have to bring their own chairs or whatever furniture it is?
I start off supplying the pieces with my first year students, but as they go through the 3-year course, obviously we encourage them to go out there and actually bring in their own different pieces, which is really good in a way, because then you get to see, or that, you know, we all get to see how similar upholstery systems can be applied to a variety of styles of chairs, so they get to understand what the similarities and the differences are. With my leisure class students who are coming to sort of the more sort of you know, open brief classes, typically they might have inherited something, picked something up in a flea market, pulled it out of a skip. So with those students, it's pretty much exclusively working on something that they've already got.
Okay, and well, I've got to ask this: so when they bring a piece of furniture, or you've got a piece of furniture from wherever, what do you find inside?
Well, you know,
have there been any horror stories?
We occasionally you'd find a bit of money. You know, and obviously, you know, that's something you either return to the client, or, you know, typically they give you a contribution to your tea fund. Everything, playing cards, you know. The things I used to like finding were pens that people would get from their travels. So you know, and it's quite interesting. I mean, we found photos of chairs, photos of family members that have passed away, and maybe some of those photos have been lost or something like that. And you know, and that's really nice, reuniting someone with a memento of someone that they thought was lost. Unfortunately, it's sort of, you know, there's never anything glamorous really.